家好，欢迎来到今日头条 at the Expresso， 我是卡春笑。今天是2022年7月29号，星期五，又是星期五了。大家周末有什么打算呢？好，我们开始我们的头条，来自今天 FT 中文网。今日头条1，让大家先看一下，我们看到是一个公司是什么？是苹果，对不对？好，老师先来读一下。苹果靠 iPhone 销售和服务勉强维持营收增长。苹果靠 iPhone 销售和服务勉强维持营收增长。这个稍微有点长，第二部分稍微有点长，应该是怎么样的划分呢？是这样子，苹果靠 iPhone 销售和服务勉强维持营收增长。其实我们在做这样子的练习的时候，也是告诉你这个句子的意思大致是什么样，它的结构是怎么样。So the reason I now introduce this exercise to ask you to reflect on where I'm gonna pause when I read, partly is to, of course, help you find the rhythm, right, in Chinese, where's the natural pause, but also more importantly, there's a rationale behind each time I pause so that it helps you to think about the sentence structure, because the pause needs to make sense, right? If you pause at the wrong place, it will have a negative impact on how the hearer, the other person, can understand you or not. So this is the right pause. Now let's have a look at the meaning. 好的，我们现在来看一下意思。那刚才我说了这个苹果 right? So this is actually the subject, yeah? 苹果。然后 the key verb here, I'm quite curious whether you can find the key verb. What is the verb in this sentence? The verb, the actual verb is 维持 to sustain, to sustain. So now we have the verb. So we have subject, verb, and then obviously the object comes after the verb. So after 维持，营收增长，营收 revenue 增长 growth or increase. So revenue growth here together. Okay, so now this bit, how do we understand 维持? So we know that's verb. Now let's come to the verb, to the word before the verb, though that is 勉强. 勉强. So here before verb it's adverb. Yeah, 勉强维持, barely or reluctantly. This is hard because 勉强 on itself can also be a verb, but it means to force someone to do something. So the meaning is slightly different. So you need to understand, 维持 is the key verb or is the main verb. Therefore, 勉强 here is not a verb, but adverb to describe, the key verb 维持. So become barely sustain. Okay. And then what is interesting, so that's where I said here we have to pause. Okay. This bit, okay, so 靠 iPhone 销售和服务. This is about how they barely maintain. Yeah, so the how come before to describe the verb. So how they do it. So here, grammatically, this word is important. 靠 to depend on or to based on, to rely on. Sorry, here is not to rely rely on. Okay, to rely on, to depend on. 所以呢 depend on 什么 iPhone 销售和服务 so sales and service. So they sustain the growth depends on what? Depending on the iPhone sales and services. 好 Does that make sense? So we can see that's why when you read this sentence, this is where you should pause naturally. 好，我们再来读一下Let me just clear everything. 苹果靠 iPhone 销售和服务勉强维持营收增长。好，这是第一个。 然后呢，我们来看一下今日头条2啊，大家看到是另外一个公司 ，so we can see it's about another company, another big company. So what about it? 好，我们来看一下，让大家先来看一下。Okay, so in comparison, this one is way more straightforward. 我先来读一下。亚马逊营收表现强劲，股价得到提振。亚马逊营收表现强劲，股价得到提振。好，那我们先会看，应该是这样子。This is a very straightforward subject, verb, and then object, that type of sentence. So it's very easy. 亚马逊营收表现强劲，股价得到提振。OK， 好，那我们来看一下意思吧。那亚马逊 ，so we know this is another big company, Amazon, right? 营收 again, it's about its revenue. 表现 performance. This performance to perform, by the way, be mindful, it's not about artistic or theater performance. It's more performance related to work or business. Okay, so in a revenue performance 强劲 so strong, very strong revenue performance. 股价 share price 得到 to gain 提振 means boost, so gain the rise. Okay, so in English we say the share boost, but in Chinese is the share price to gain rising or improvement. 好，那我们就再来读一下这个。亚马逊营收表现强劲，股价得到提振。好，那我们今天选的词呢，就是表现。这个表这里呢指的是表面 surface, so what you can see from outside. And then 现 means show. Okay, so what you can show from what you can show where everyone can see. 这个就是表现。好，我们来看一下这个汉字。好，这个就是我们今天的词语表现。好的，非常好，谢谢大家观看今日头条 at the Espresso， 别忘了给老师点赞哦。然后呢，今天是2022年7月29号星期五，祝大家有愉快的一个周末。然后呢，我们就下个星期一再见喽，拜拜。